Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mr. English Podcast. I'm Emma. Today's episode is a little different from our usual ones. Today, I am going to take you through my day, a completely ordinary, real, everyday day. And as I tell you about it, you are going to hear 50 English phrases that native speakers use all the time, naturally, in context, just as they really sound.
Hey everyone, I'm James, and all you need to do today is listen. You don't need to take notes, you don't need to study, just sit back, follow Emma's day, and let the English come to you. Whenever Emma uses one of our phrases, I'll be here to echo it back to you gently. Ready? Let's start. From the very beginning of the day, early morning, my alarm goes off.
So the alarm went off at 7, and I want to be honest with you, I was still half asleep. Completely. My brain was there, but my body absolutely was not ready to be awake yet.
Still half asleep, not fully awake. Your eyes are open, but your mind is still in bed somewhere.
I reached for my phone and I thought, I need a moment. Just one moment before the day begins. I lay there for about 3 minutes, staring at the ceiling.
I need a moment. That little space you give yourself before you face the world. We all need one.
And then my flatmate knocked on the door and said, "Rise and shine," which was not what I wanted to hear at that particular moment.
Rise and shine. The classic morning phrase. Time to wake up, time to start your day. Usually said by someone who is already awake and feeling annoyingly cheerful about it.
Exactly. Because honestly, I am not a morning person. I never have been. Mornings and I have a complicated relationship.
Not a morning person. Someone who finds it difficult to wake up early or feel good in the morning. The opposite of a morning person. Wakes up at 5 and goes for a run. I do not understand those people.
Neither do I. So I finally got up, made my coffee, and looked at my diary. And I thought, I've got a lot on today. A meeting, some writing, a phone call I had been putting off for a week.
I've got a lot on. A very natural British and American phrase, meaning I have a busy day, many things to do.
I drank my coffee slowly because I wanted to enjoy at least 5 peaceful minutes before everything started. And then I said to myself, right, let's get going. Time to face the day.
Let's get going. Time to start, time to move, time to leave or begin. One of the most useful phrases for starting anything.
I poured a second coffee into my travel cup because, honestly, I could use some coffee. 1 cup is never quite enough on a busy day.
I could use some coffee. I could use some means I want it, I need it, it would help me very much right now. You can say this about anything. I could use some sleep. I could use some good news.
I got dressed, checked my bag, and told myself, take it one step at a time. Don't think about the whole day, just the next thing, just this moment.
Take it one step at a time. Don't rush, don't panic. Focus on one thing and then the next. Such a calming phrase. I use it constantly.
I checked the time, and as always, I was running a bit late. Not terribly late, just 5 minutes, which somehow always becomes 10.
Running a bit late. Not quite on time, slightly behind schedule. A very honest phrase for a very common situation.
I left the house, and honestly, what a day already. And it was only 8:30 in the morning.
What a day already. Said when things have been eventful or exhausting and the day has barely started. Warm, slightly dramatic, completely natural.
I got on the bus, and it was quite crowded. I squeezed through to find a space and said to the person next to me, Excuse me, could I get past?
Excuse me, could I get past? The polite way to ask someone to move so you can walk through. Very useful on public transport, in shops, anywhere people are in your way.
The bus was noisy and someone was saying something to me, but I was distracted and I didn't catch that. I had to ask them to repeat.
I didn't catch that. I didn't hear or understand. Could you say it again? Very natural in noisy places, or when you lose concentration for a moment.
So I smiled and said, "Sorry, could you say that again?"
Sorry, could you say that again? The most natural way to ask for repetition. Polite, friendly, completely normal to say. You will use this every day.
Turns out they were just asking if the seat next to me was taken, which it wasn't. And they said thank you, and I said, "No worries at all."
No worries at all. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Not a problem. One of the warmest and most natural ways to respond to a thank you or an apology.
I sent a message to a friend to let them know I'm on my way, running a tiny bit behind, but nearly there.
I'm on my way. I have left and I am coming to you now. Simple, reassuring, very common in messages and phone calls.
They replied and said, "Where are you exactly?" And I said, "Just around the corner," which was not entirely accurate, but close enough.
Just around the corner. Very close, almost there, a short distance away. Often used slightly optimistically. Just around the corner can sometimes mean 5 minutes away.
I arrived 7 minutes late. My friend looked at me with that look, and I said, "Better late than never."
Better late than never. Arriving late is better than not arriving at all. A classic English expression, usually said with a smile and a slight apology.
And my friend laughed and said, "Good to see you." And honestly, it was good to see them too.
Good to see you. A warm, genuine greeting when you meet someone you know. Slightly more personal than hello. Says, I am genuinely happy you are here.
After that, I headed to a meeting. And about 10 minutes in, a colleague leaned over and said, "Emma, could you give me a hand with something after this?"
Could you give me a hand? Could you help me, please? A very natural and friendly way to ask for help. Give me a hand. Not literally, just help me.
I said, "Yes, of course." And then in the meeting, my manager asked me to look at a new project. And I said, "I'll get right on it," meaning I would start immediately.
I'll get right on it. I will start this now. I won't delay. A confident and professional response to a task or request shows you are ready and willing.
My manager explained the brief and something clicked. And I said, "That makes sense. I understand now. I can see the picture."
That makes sense. I understand. I can follow your logic. This is clear to me now. One of the most useful phrases in any conversation, professional or personal.
Then a colleague shared a different idea, and I thought about it and said, "I see what you mean," even though I wasn't completely sure I agreed yet.
I see what you mean. I understand your perspective. I can follow your thinking. Notice, this doesn't mean I agree, just that I understand.
They asked me what I thought we should do, and I said honestly, "Let me think about that." I didn't want to answer too quickly.
Let me think about that. Give me a moment to consider. A thoughtful response that buys you time without seeming unprepared. Very natural in meetings.
My colleague had actually made a very good observation, and I said, "That's a good point. We should factor that in."
That's a good point. Your observation is valid and worth considering. A generous and professional thing to say when someone contributes something useful.
Someone asked me a technical question I didn't have the answer to, and I was honest. "I'm not quite sure about that one. Let me find out."
I'm not quite sure. I don't have a confident answer right now. Honest, humble, and completely acceptable. Much better than guessing.
I took the action point and said, "Leave it with me. I'll look into it."
Leave it with me. I will take responsibility for this. I will handle it. Confident and reassuring. Someone else can stop worrying. You have it.
And before I moved on, I said, "I'll keep you posted. As soon as I know anything, I'll let you know."
I'll keep you posted. I will update you as new information comes. Very common in professional settings.
but also among friends. I'll keep you posted means you won't be left waiting in the dark.
Lunchtime. I met a friend I hadn't seen in about a month. The first thing she said was, "How have you been?"
How have you been? A warm question about someone's life and well-being since you last saw them. More personal than "how are you?" It implies some time has passed.
And I said, same old, same old. Nothing dramatic. Life is ticking along as usual. Busy, but okay.
Same old, same old. Everything is about the same as usual. No big changes, no big news. A very relaxed and honest answer to "how have you been?"
And then she leaned forward and said, "You won't believe this." And I immediately sat up straighter because something interesting was clearly coming.
You won't believe this. What I'm about to say will surprise you. A brilliant phrase for starting a story. It creates instant curiosity and attention.
I said, "Tell me everything," because clearly there was a story and I needed all of it.
Tell me everything. I want all the details. Leave nothing out. Said when you are completely ready to listen to someone's full story. Very warm, very engaged.
She told me about something difficult that had happened at work, a complicated situation. And I said, "That sounds exhausting," because it really did.
That sounds exhausting. Empathy. I can imagine how tiring and difficult that was for you. A warm and validating response when someone tells you about something hard.
And I said, "I know exactly what you mean," because I had been in a similar situation once and I understood the feeling completely.
I know exactly what you mean. I understand completely. I have felt this too, or I can fully picture what you are describing. One of the most connecting phrases in the English language.
I even shared my own story and said, "That happened to me once." Not exactly the same, but something very similar. It made her feel less alone in it.
That happened to me once. I have had a similar experience. Sharing this creates connection and makes the other person feel understood and less isolated. Then the waiter came and asked what we wanted. My friend looked at the menu and asked me, "What are you having?" What are you having? What are you going to order? A casual and friendly way to ask about someone's food or drink choice. I looked at the menu, saw something that sounded perfect, and said, "I'll have what you're having," because it sounded delicious and I couldn't choose. I'll have what you're having. I want the same thing as you. A classic phrase, often used when you trust the other person's choice or simply can't decide.
After lunch, I had a few things to do. I went into a shop and couldn't find what I was looking for, so I asked a member of staff, "Could I get some help, please?"
Could I get some help, please? A polite and direct request for assistance in a shop or service situation. Clear, friendly, and completely natural.
They helped me find what I needed and I went to pay. I only had my card on me, so I asked, "Do you take card?"
Do you take card? Do you accept payment by card rather than cash? Very common and necessary to ask in smaller shops or markets.
They did. I paid and then wandered around looking at other things. Another assistant came over and asked if I needed help. I said, "Just browsing, thanks."
Just browsing. Thanks. I am only looking. I don't need help right now. Thank you. The perfect phrase for when you want to look without pressure.
I spotted something I liked, but when I looked at the price, I thought, that's a bit much. More than I wanted to spend on something like that.
That's a bit much. That is too expensive or more than expected. A gentle way to say something costs too much without sounding rude about it.
I looked at it for a while. I picked it up, put it down, picked it up again. The assistant asked if I was interested, and I said, "I'll think about it," which usually means no, but nicely.
I'll think about it. I am not sure yet. I need more time to decide. Sometimes genuine, sometimes a polite way to say it's not quite right for me. But then I found something else, something I actually loved. And I said, "I'll take it." No hesitation this time. I'll take it. I want this one. I will buy this.
The decisive, satisfying phrase when you have made your choice and you are ready to buy.
I paid, and as I was leaving, I asked, "Could I get a receipt?" Just in case I needed it later.
Could I get a receipt? Could you give me proof of purchase, please? Always useful to ask. In shops, restaurants, anywhere you spend money.
The cashier handed it to me and said, "Have a good one," which I love. So warm and casual.
Have a good one. Have a good day, a good evening, a good time. Whatever comes next. A friendly and relaxed farewell. Very American, but used widely.
I got home around 6:30. I put down my bag, took off my shoes, sat on the sofa, and thought, what a day. Just what a day.
What a day. Said at the end of a full, eventful, or tiring day. Can be positive, negative, or simply reflective. 2 words that carry so much.
I was absolutely worn out. Not just physically tired, the kind that comes from a day of being fully present and giving everything.
Absolutely worn out. Completely exhausted. Physically and mentally. Worn out is more expressive than tired. It suggests you have been used up by the day.
I thought about making dinner, but honestly, I could do with a rest first. Just 20 minutes on the sofa before I moved again.
I could do with a rest. I need a break. A rest would be very welcome right now. I could do with something means that thing would help me very much at this moment.
I made something simple for dinner. Nothing fancy, just something warm and comforting. And that first bite, I thought, that hit the spot. Exactly what I needed.
That hit the spot. That was exactly right. Exactly what I needed. Usually about food or drink, but also about anything that satisfies a need perfectly.
I sat quietly for a while after eating. I thought about the day, the meeting, the lunch, the errands, the conversation with my friend. And I thought, all in all, it was a good day. Not perfect, but good.
All in all, when you consider everything together, taking the good and the difficult together, overall, all in all, it was a good day. A reflective and honest phrase for the end of anything.
And then I looked at the time, looked at the sofa, looked at my bed, and said to myself, I'm going to call it a night.
Call it a night. Stop for the evening. Go to sleep. End the day here. A warm and decisive phrase for the moment you decide, enough. I am done. Today is complete.
And it was. The day was complete.
50 phrases. One ordinary day. Every single one of them is something you will hear in real English conversations. In the morning, at work, with friends, in shops, and at the end of a long but full day.
You don't need to memorize them all at once. Just let them settle. Listen again whenever you want. On a walk, on the commute, before sleep. The more you hear them, the more natural they become. And one day, without even noticing, they will start coming out of your mouth. That is how it works.
If today's episode helped you, please give it a like and subscribe to Mr. English Podcast. We are here every week with real English for real life. And leave us a comment. Which phrase from today felt most natural to you? Which one are you going to use first? Tell us. We read every single comment. Every one.
Thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. We hope the rest of it, whatever's left, is a good one.
See you next time on Mr. English Podcast.